But the big story on Action News tonight is new details in an unusual and very heavy heist in Northeast Philadelphia.
It happened around 8:30 last night in South Memphis.
Overnight, thieves target a semi-truck full of televisions while the driver was inside the cab sleeping.
While the driver was inside the cab sleeping. While the driver was inside the cab sleeping.
After box taken from a Fedex truck that tried to get through a local intersection. It happened around 8:30 last night in South Memphis. The driver didn't make it through before dozens of packages were stolen from the truck.
We don't have an exact count on how many packages and boxes were stolen, but we do know that when those thieves jumped onto the back of that truck, they did not hold back. You can see those skid marks in the middle of the road. This is where that truck driver was at. Now, the video shows the FedEx truck stuck here at Riverport and West Mallory. The driver told police that several men broke the sealed latch on the truck. They got in and started taking boxes and packages away. You can also see that the driver is blocked in by several cars that blocked off the road.
Unusual and very heavy heist in Northeast Philadelphia. Police say someone broke into a parked tractor trailer overnight that was loaded with dimes. The coins have been picked up from the Philadelphia Mint and were ultimately bound for Florida.
Jim, good morning. This truck driver actually caught these thieves in the act, but says he was afraid to confront them, fearing for his own safety. He was in his truck sleeping at the time. All he could think to do was turn on the engine to scare them away and call police. Check it out. This all happened right around 1 o'clock this morning on the 2700 block of Commerce Way in the Northeast. CBS News, Philadelphia there as the back of this truck sat open following the theft. You can see inside some of the remaining cargo, 43-inch televisions.
Like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and tell me down below, have you been a victim of any kind of cargo theft lately, and how concerned are you? Hi guys, and welcome to Trucking Along with Kearsey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. Be very careful out there. Cargo theft is going insane right now.
Crazy Eddie, his prices are insane.
You know, back in May, I was kind of monitoring the situation, and in May, there were reports that it was on the rise, 41% by then. And just looking at different news articles and videos and stuff in the news, I'm seeing a lot more cargo theft going on. Just in Memphis the other day, a few cars came and surrounded the trucker at an intersection and did not allow the truck to drive away. And then they just took the product right off the back of the trailer at the intersection. They didn't even wait for him to go to sleep. In Philadelphia, I believe it was last night, around midnight last night, Patterson Avenue, if any of you live in the South Philly area, which is, you know, I worked in that area. My family is originally from that area. I grew up right across the bridge in Jersey, but there was a driver who was sleeping and got woken up when he felt somebody in his trailer, and they stole like $7,000 worth of beef. When he jumped out to see what was going on, one of the guys just kind of pointed to his hip and said, "Hey, we're only taking a few, like, you know, here, I got a weapon on me." No load is worth your life. It really isn't. I mean, everybody's struggling right now. The interest rates for loans are going insane. Mortgage rates are up. Car loan rates are up. I was looking to buy a new car, and it's just insane because a used car is only $2,000 or $3,000 cheaper than a brand new car. And when you go to take the loan, if it's somebody that needs to finance that car, which a lot of people right now are in that boat, a lot of people don't have ready cash available, the lower finance, the lower interest rate on the new loan and the higher interest rate on the used car actually balances it out to the same payment per month. That's crazy. And, you know, I've been looking around for a car, and I'm like, wow, what are these people paying in payments? And it's baffling me because the average car loan right now is $700 a month. The average. What the average family can actually afford to pay for a car loan is $400 a month.
Oh.
And And now that there was like an extension or a moratorium or whatever you want to call it on the student loans, all these kids that kind of like pushed their student loans aside temporarily, they went and bought these cars that are like $500, $600, $700 a month. So now, guess what? Now that they're paying for the student loans again, and they need those loans to be able to keep going to school so they can finish their degrees, they don't have the money for the cars. Like one of the top Google searches is, how do I give my car back, or how do I turn my car back in? It's something like that. And it's just like insane. When you're looking at food out on the road, McDonald's is going to be raising their prices. People are flipping out right now because they're saying, now I haven't seen this myself, but you can find online where people are saying you go in for like, you know, a regular Big Mac meal that here in Springfield used to be like $6.50 a couple years ago, and now it's like $18. And California is now increasing their minimum wage to $20 an hour. So those people in California are already expecting the McDonald's prices to jump higher to be able to afford the higher wages. So it's going to get really ugly out there, guys, as if it's not already. So be very careful. Know the laws of where you're traveling. You know, we talk about 2A. There's kind of a little bit of a culture war that goes on when you got people that are like northerners like me, from originally from blue states, and you know, and then you got people from a more red conservative state. We grew up with different philosophies, and so it was kind of like, okay, weapon on table, nobody's touching it, it's empty, it's still bad, you know. So you got these conflicts of those people out there, in addition to the laws. Know the laws of where you're going. Know the policies of your company. People will tell me, oh, well, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried out by 6. That depends on where you are. Because honestly, I don't think a lot of these people are too smart anymore, so I sure as heck don't want them, you know, judging me. I don't trust them. As we saw with the Fedex guy, that being just surrounded like that, that's terrifying. That's scary. Unfortunately, it's going to get worse. And if you're teaming, you know, you might feel a little bit better. You're stopping less. You're not really parked for the night when you're teaming. So right now, I think teams are probably going to feel a little bit more safe and have a little bit more confidence. But that vehicle was surrounded. That vehicle was surrounded by cars. So make it a point to really be aware of your surroundings. And I think for the most part, we are all paying attention when we're walking through truck stops and stuff, but this just goes to show somebody's just gonna jump out at you. What do? You know, and a few years ago when they were having those protests, you know, it's funny that it was FedEx again, that people jumped on the truck and they were actually pulling the release handle to disconnect the trailer to try to get the products off the back of the trailer. Now, one of the reasons why I was thinking about this in a video is TruckingTruth.com. There was a guy talking about, I'm pretty sure he even said he was going to Philadelphia, or he was parking in a bad area or something. And he was saying that he doesn't put a lock on his trailer, because if there's a lock on it, then people are going to assume that something that's what's in the trailer is worth something. Okay. I don't ever want to be the one that my trailer gets stolen or something, and then they're taking pictures of it and they're like, wait a minute, you didn't even have a lock on it? No. You know, I mean, I'm not going to go hand-to-hand combat with somebody over a trailer. Just not happening. Sorry, Prime. I kind of feel bad for some of these owner ops out here that are running under their own authority, because what's happening is, as they're putting in claims for the cargo, what then happens? their insurance goes up. So the mega carriers like Prime Inc. and Swift and all the rest, what happens? They all are self-insured and they have underwriters for the really expensive stuff. Yes, of course, but you know, they're not going to be affected the same way as a guy that has 1, 2 trucks or even 40 trucks. The struggle out here is real. I've been watching a lot of the Reddit subgroups are talking, and you know, there's one that's called Truckers. My cat just scared herself. She's crazy. Sorry. But there's a subreddit group called Truckers, and to hear these people talking about how much money they've spent and how much they're not making, and you know, everybody's like, you know, paycheck to paycheck, and when there is some kind of a product claim or there is a break-in on the trailer, you know, a lot of these guys own their own trailers. So somebody just came and took a sledgehammer and broke your lock and your bracket that keeps the lock on, and in one case they took some kind of, they jimmied the hinges off the back of the door. And yeah, you might say, well, hinges really aren't that expensive when you're talking about, you know, tens of thousands and $100,000 worth of equipment and product and everything. But you're talking about somebody that's already got really bad rates. They're already hurting. They're already sitting too much. And then you just cost them more money by stealing the product. And now they have to go sit to get their repairs done. And, you know, it's just really not good right now. So be vigilant. You know, if you see anything and you suspect anything, then make sure that you get to a safe place. Pull into way stations or park at way stations. They're going to be more secure. They're usually under video cameras. People are afraid to go into way stations. If you travel the same interstates all the time, the same highways, a lot of times you'll see, especially on like toll roads in Pennsylvania, for example, and there's some in Oklahoma, where there's turnouts where the cops are, and I mean the actual big police stations, like the state trooper houses, that type of thing. So if you're really, you know, concerned that somebody is following you and you're not sure, it's better just to pull in there and then, you know, and call the police and say, because nobody's gonna, if they're trying to steal your truck, they're not gonna follow you into the stinking police station, right? So just figured I'd put that out there. I think that sometimes when we're out on the road, we get so wrapped up in our own life and our loads and, you know, trying to sleep and trying to balance just our basic needs of sleep and eating and showering and laundry, that sometimes we're not paying attention to the news. We're not paying attention to things that are going around in the places that we're going to, you know, especially if you're going into a city. Really pay attention. And on the Google, look at Google reviews for your customers you're going into. Make sure that you're looking and reading and saying, okay, this, a lot of times drivers will write directions in there. They'll write tips. They'll say, bad area, don't park here. And I don't think that people utilize the Google reviews enough. I always use it for the satellite view too, so that you can see the flow of the traffic flow of the facility, but I don't think the reviews are utilized as much as they could be. And that can really save you some time and aggravation. And also make it a point to leave your own review, because guess what? Sometimes people leaving reviews aren't too smart. So I don't really trust book reviews or movie reviews, because you don't know those people. They could be stupid. So, you know, take it for what you can for the useful information, and then, you know, turn around and put your own useful information in there. But if you're going to carry any kind of weapons like knives and stuff like that, make sure that you know the length of the blade that's legal. You know, some states I know weren't allowing stun guns, and some don't allow certain kinds of pepper spray or mace or whatever. So make sure you're you're vigilant. Make sure you know the law of where you're going. For those of you who do carry, make sure that you know if your permit is reciprocated in the states that you're going through. You know, Illinois and New Jersey and California, most likely they're not going to accept that. And you very well could go to prison. Seriously. So, you know, and again, your personal safety is always the most important. You know, I don't ever want to be in that situation where I'm surrounded by vehicles and I have to sit there and figure out, well, what do I do? You know, women ask me all the time, is it dangerous out here being a woman? It's dangerous no matter where you go. It's dangerous being home being a woman. So don't let the news terrify you into thinking that you're going to be a victim. Allow yourself to be prepared. Allow yourself to be aware. Allow yourself the resources, the knowledge to protect yourself. Yeah. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and tell me down below, have you been a victim of any kind of cargo theft lately, and how concerned are you?